Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Caribbean Heritage TV brought to you by Nicky Nick World Productions. We're here tonight at the first annual Diaspora of the African Rastafarian Congress Awards Banquet. We're here tonight. They are recognizing notable members of the Rastafarian community. We'll be talking to the awardees. They'll be coming out and speaking to us and letting us know what it is that they do, why they're being awarded. We'll be speaking to members of the organization to find out more about what they do and what they're fundraising for and how we can all contribute to those causes. So please stick around and we'll have more for you, including footage from the banquet itself and the awards that were given throughout the night.
O thou God of Ethiopia, our divine majesty, thy spirit has come into our hearts to dwell in the paths of righteousness. Lead us. Help us to forgive that we may be forgiven. Teach us love, loyalty and earth as it is in Zion. Endow us with thy wisdom, knowledge and understanding to do thy will. Thy blessing to us, that hungry be fed, the naked clothed, the sick nourished, the aged protected, and the infants cared for. Deliver us from the hands of our enemies, that we may prove fruitful in these perilous days. When our enemies are past and decayed, in the depths of the sea, in the depths of the earth, or in the bowel of the beast. Oh, grant unto us all a place in thy kingdom, forever. Selah. We thank you, the Most High.
By our tirelessly working to acquire a grant for our organization in the amount of $145,000, Sister Chanel organization has been able to provide free birth and postpartum doula services to about 300 low-income pregnant women and new mothers in New York City. Her work has afforded her the opportunity to speak alongside leading global women's health professionals and high-profile philanthropist at the 2015 Blog Earth Conference held in New York City. Her most recent speaking engagement was before a room of over 250 judges and lawyers at the Brooklyn Law School on the topic of returning power to pregnant individuals and their family. As demonstrated, Sister Chanel embodies Her Imperial Majesty Empress Menen commitment to promoting women's issue. For this reason, Sister Chanel Jacera is an excellent recipient of this award. So, tonight, Sister Chanel.
Rastafari. I've spoke in front of many people before, but this is the first time I'm actually really nervous. Because this one means a lot to me. This is the first time that I'm being honored by Rastafari community, and that means more than that. You know, sometimes you do work and you're not sure if people really see it or you're really helping folks, and when you have your community to come out and say, sis, we see you, we hear you, and you're doing good works, that means a lot. I want to give thanks to my husband, Ras Angel, or Ras Malaku. If it wasn't for Rastafari blessing me with him in my life, I wouldn't be able to do the works that I'm able to do every single day. We have 4 beautiful children. I have a 7-year-old son. I have 6-year-old twin girls, and a soon-to-be 5-year-old little girl. And if it wasn't for his tireless efforts in taking care of I and I family, I wouldn't be able to go out and serve and do the works of His Majesty and Empress Nana. So I just want to say give thanks unto Rastafari. Give thanks unto Rastafari because it means a lot.
Good times, good times, wonderful. That's what it's all about. That is the spirit.
Hi everyone, we're back with Caribbean Heritage TV. We're here with one of the awardees for this evening, Miss Chanel Portia Albert from Ancient Song Doula Services, for her amazing work with the community and dealing with women's issues and women's pregnant women's issues as well. Please tell us more about what you do. Congratulations.
Thank you. So my work is based on lowering the infant and maternal mortality. Women of African descent, African American, and those who come from the continent have some of the highest infant and maternal mortality within New York. It's 12 times higher than our counterparts. So I've made it my work to be able to offer quality healthcare services, specifically around infant and maternal health to women of color, low-income women, and those who otherwise wouldn't be able to afford services.
So what inspired you to begin all of this work? It seems like a big undertaking, and I'm sure it started with a small idea to develop into a much larger project. So what inspired you to do all of this?
That's the birth of my son, my first child. At the time, I was working in corporate America, and I had private insurance, and, I went to an OBGYN who was a woman of color, but although she was a woman of color, she didn't necessarily speak to what I was looking for in terms of birth. I wanted someone who was holistic, who was grounded, who had, African principles, and she just wasn't that for me. And then I was given some information about a midwife, and I contacted her, and it was everything that I was looking for. And during that time, I had private insurance to be able to cover the cost of the home birth. But after that, I started to think about, well, what about women who are on Medicaid, or who are in shelters, or who are experiencing domestic violence, or who have gone through some sort of trauma? What does birth look like for them? So it just started with me actually opening up my home. And it started in my living room, and we sacrificed a family room, and right, to create more families. And I wanted women to come to a place where they could feel safe and secure, and feel like somebody wasn't just trying to get them in and out. It was really about not only nurturing the child that was within them, but nurturing their souls, because a lot of times we go through pregnancy and a lot of things from our childhood comes up, a lot of past trauma and things of that nature. And birthing is a sacred time, and I think in order for us to really build a solid foundation, it starts from the beginning. So yeah.
That's amazing. That's an incredible thing to just decide to start and to have happening in your own home, and the best ideas obviously solve a problem and start with you, like, something that you're looking for and that you can share when you find out that other people are looking for the same thing. So where are you in the stages with your with the business? What can people do to help support you in the work that you do?
Well, I mean, private donations are always great.
How can one do that?
You can go online to our website. It's ancientsongdoulaservices.com. And, you can just hit the donate button or you can give us a call. We also look for volunteers. I try to keep the services low cost as possible, if not free, because I know that sometimes it's a struggle just to be able to afford care. So we were awarded a grant last year for $154,000 to be able to offer direct services to women in the community. But eventually funding runs out. So community support is always welcome. We accept barter. We accept. I believe in ancient principles of and moving a very humble path. So anything that anyone is willing to offer, whether it be donations of maternity clothes, infant supplies, that are new or gently used, or, finances, we'll be more than welcome. It's ancient, ANCIENT, song, SONG, doula, DOULA, services with the S.com.
Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Can you show them their lovely award just so we get a nice shot of that? Thank you so much for all the work that you do. You're truly appreciated. Obviously, we see you, we recognize you, and we will continue to recognize the work that you're doing. Thanks so much for joining us. It was great to meet you. Have a great night.
This next award is to another young woman who has dedicated her time, her heart, and her spirit to the youth. But you see, in 1966, His Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I donated a school to Kingston, Jamaica. All right. And as we know, education is key. And the school is located in 3 Mile, Jamaica, which is in the heart of the ghetto. There's a few garrisons that are around the school, and it's been a struggle over the years. And with that being said, this young lady joined the school in 2007, and for the past 8 years, she has poured her heart and soul to the youth, going way far and beyond than anyone I've seen, inside of the school. She's involved with the Rastafari Youth Council. She helps lead the pageants, the His Majesty pageant. She helps the environmental clubs where they clean up beaches and they clean up the area. She's involved with Service Day. She was key in assisting us in planting 12 trees on the land last year. 12 fruit trees, June plum, breadfruit, mango, marmalade, and all of those things as well. I've seen her over the years in my trip to Jamaica, and she dedicates her weekends. She pours her heart to the youth because it's all about getting them through. She's been also enabled us to provide scholarships to a few of the youths there as well for the tests and just way beyond. And so D.A.R.C recognizes her for her selfless service. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rastafari Meritorious Service Award goes to Ms. Jacqueline Bryan.
I just said I didn't know I was supposed to talk. My actions speak more than my words, and the youths are my passion, and I love what I do. And I'm going to ask you to continue to support the young people at Haile Selassie High School. We're trying to get our music program off the ground, and we're in need of sponsors for our music tutor. And I want to ask you to put your 100% behind that program as we continue to ensure that our young people of our school become the the best that they can be, and that they continue to learn to live and live well in our Jamaican society. Thank you very much.
Good evening. What a wonderful occasion, and I want to congratulate D.A.R.C for their inauguration dinner and for celebrating the 85th anniversary of His Majesty's coronation. I'm so happy. I think the drummers did an excellent job. They served and what I would like to say is that His Majesty's 85th coronation has a lot of meaning. His Majesty came from a long line of the Solomonic dynasty, and one of the first acts he did 85 years ago was to recognize Emperor Menelik's victory over Adoak and to pay homage to him by erecting his statue. So he understood that history needs a bridge, and it's a continuum. So by doing that, he also exposed the world to Ethiopia, and he also made sure that Ethiopia's place in this world had an international aspect. So today when we're here, we're grateful that he also visited Jamaica some 50 years ago, and one of his contributions was to open the Haile Selassie High School, which you are all here trying to raise funds for, trying to encourage the students. I've had the privilege of visiting. They're wonderful kids. They need all your support. And more importantly, His Majesty also introduced the Ethiopian Orthodox Church to Jamaica. It was the first church to be inaugurated by Abu Isa in the Western Hemisphere. So he left definite footprints for us to follow. So I'm so grateful that in combination that we're all here to celebrate his legacy together, and I wish you all a great evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you once again to the Prince, the grandson of His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie I. Another round of applause, please.
As I said, I am totally speechless. I am certainly not worthy of such accolades. And I say to all of us, our charge as teachers and leaders is to find a way today to inspire our youth. As my granddaughter has said to me, in my day, I lived through Jim Crow. I lived in a part of the country that truly held me back and told me what I could not do. And I knew there had to be another way, and I struggled to try to figure out how to get out of that city, out of that place. Even though I felt like nothing, I was always told I could not go to college, we were nothing. I had very low self-esteem, but something told me that wasn't correct. Today, as my granddaughter told me, we were motivated because, excuse my slang, it was in our face. Children today are entitled. How can we as leaders and teachers allow them to really hold on to the legacy? That is our charge. What happens when you study Black independent schools all over the country? They do not sustain. When the founder passes on or transitions, the school soon follows. We need to stop letting that happen. It happens because we don't really understand the sacrifice in building independent schools. This society will not support Black independent schools. They are the gravity that is holding our children back. And we have to define the pull of gravity where our children are concerned. So the media, today's media, is one of the things, media, the schooling, our children that are in the foreigner school and listening to their media are held by that strange gravitational pull. And somehow we have to break that pull and bring our children back to us. I am so happy that D.A.R.C is also building schools. You know, if there's anything that we can do to partnership with the Haile Selassie School in Jamaica, we would be very glad to. See, you know, as a people, we have to unite on our commonness, not on our difference. Pan-Africanism or pan-Black is what we have in common. And do you know, we are more alike than different. And we need to come together on what is alike and respect the differences. The Learning Tree School has adopted a school in Ghana, West Africa, called in the village of Apantropa. And we send school supplies and small things. We can't do things big, but whatever we can do, we share. And they really are very grateful. The same, I don't know the needs of the Haile Selassie School in Jamaica, but if we can get together and find out if there's anything that we can share. The one thing is, it's very hard to send books and supplies because of the weight. But if anyone ever had a container going over where many people are sharing in that one container, we could find a way to help them with computers, with books, with supplies. It's something that we need to figure out how to do, how we can unite with each other and support each other and stop losing our children. We need to come together and find out how can we hold on to our children, okay? Again, thank you, Dr. Shabanas. I didn't deserve such. I thank Brother Javi, Sister Aisha, and D.A.R.C for this unbelievable honor. Thank you.
Yes. A very tremendous moment. Very tremendous indeed. We talk about education. Give it up for Dr. Lloyd Gregory, Dr. Shabazz, and of course Mr. Buzzy Hall. Thank you once again. Thank you. It's deep. We talk about working for ourselves and doing for ourselves and doing what we have to do. Self-reliance from the lion, what he said. I serve God. You know, we have to do it for ourselves, folks. That's what it's all about. And at this point in time, I just want to recognize...
Hi everyone, we're back with Caribbean Heritage TV here with one of the award recipients for the night, the amazing Miss Gregory. How are you today?
I'm great. I'm very honored to be here.
Well, you've done a lot of great work and you certainly deserve to be recognized for it. Can you tell us a little bit of what you've been doing with the Learning Tree School?
Well, the Learning Tree is nearly 40 years old. We started very small, only going up to first grade. Now we go up to eighth grade. And it's an idea that several people came to help share in. So it's not really Unitarian. It's like when you start something and someone also shares your vision, you know, it can be possible, you know, working and sacrificing. One of the proudest things about the Learning Tree that I'd like to say, the title came from the book that Gordon Parks wrote. And when we opened our new school, he came from his sick bed and cut the ribbon. And he said of all the schools in the United States or wherever that uses that name, he liked our school best. And he donated to us the typewriter in which he typed the book, The Learning Tree. So that's something that we're really proud about. But of course, the greatest pride is, you know, really engaging with children and trying to help them not become so enmeshed in the glamour of this world, but to kind of see who they really are and what their possibilities are.
And that's very necessary in this time, and I really enjoyed what you said in your speech about us kind of changing the gravitation of the children's interests and their minds, and that it is to a degree the adult's responsibility to engage them and to reach them in a different way. I think it's a tremendous experience to share everything that you've shared and have so many people be inspired by you. So what are you looking to do next, or where are you now in terms of your life's work?
Well, it will be my life's work. I won't stop until I have to. But I'm looking to build a school in North Carolina and in Atlanta. Okay. Same exact, yes. Okay.
So any international travel plans with the school or any?
Yeah, this year we're planning to go to Cuba.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That should be great.
Yeah.
Open up, I'm sure there's a lot
Yeah. It's difficult though. Yeah, they're not making it easy.
No, of course
But that's
not.
what we're trying to do.
Thank you so much for taking the time to
Okay.
speak with us. Congratulations again. We'll be keeping up with you and the developments with the new schools. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night. Thank you.